This 4th of July, fintelWatch celebrates a military organization that is one of the most misunderstood career fields in all of the armed forces.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Here are 9 fast facts about Air Force security forces. It is not what you think it is. Number 1, going nuclear. America's nuclear triad consists of land, sea, and air. While securing 2/3 of these critical national defense resources are highly specialized teams of security forces, the Tactical Response Force. So if you see the helos near your town's nuclear base, there's a good chance that these guys are aboard, complete with sniper capability. Along those lines, 2, snipers at the ready. Top marksmen can be selected for close precision engagement teams, advanced designated marksmen, and yes, counter sniper. Complete with training and definitely in the case of the latter, U.S. Army Scout Sniper School. Number 3, school is always in session. Airborne, air assault, ranger, jungle, cold weather operations. All of those are available to those in the career field who have proven themselves in terms of physical capabilities, mental aptitude, leadership, and assertiveness. As an example, before a member of security forces ever steps foot onto the Ranger School grounds, they have to first pass the rigors of Pre-Ranger, an Air Force program designed to weed out anyone who may not withstand the Army program. And these schools aren't even close to being all that is available to security forces personnel, at least those who have proven themselves worthy of the opportunity. Number 4, benefiting from Black Ops. To be clear, no component of security forces is classified as special operations, but they certainly benefit from that community. For example, at the heights of the two-front campaign involving Iraq and Afghanistan, security forces had the honor of being led by this man. That is Brigadier General Robert H. Holmes, a career combat controller who went on to become a director at Special Operations Command Headquarters. General Holmes led security forces from June of 2004 to May of 2006, when the career field saw an even greater transition back to its combat-related roots. I say combat-related roots because of number 5, born in fire. That is the background of the 820th Security Forces, whose modern incarnation was actually birthed in Vietnam. Short story, the Army and Marine Corps told the Air Force, and rightfully so, that USAF needs to start performing more of its own base security and reconnaissance patrols. This led to Combat Security Police under the first Operation Safe Side, aka Air Force Rangers, who were not only tasked with defending air bases from attack, but also operated outside the wire to eliminate threats to installations, often by setting up ambushes of their own. The Ranger moniker is of course tied to the Army, as the hand-selected members of CSP were sent to Ranger School prior to operations in Vietnam and elsewhere, eventually earning high praise from U.S. Army Ranger Hall of Fame inductee, the great Colonel David Hackworth. Today, 820th Security Forces is a component of the 820th Base Defense Group, which is the USAF rapid response element tasked with first-in establishment and defense of airfields and hostile areas. In Iraq, the 820th was also a huge component of Task Force 1041, who conducted offensive combat operations including the use of snipers, raids, and ambushes to eliminate threats affecting Balad Air Base. 6. The Air Marshals of Warfare. The Phoenix Raven program and FAST, Flyaway Security Team, are anti-terrorism units tasked with securing aircraft, its crew, and its contents. And more than a handful of these teams know the feeling of evasive maneuvers aboard an aircraft whose early warning system is going off because a surface-to-air missile was just launched. These airmen can also be found augmenting Secret Service, such as those serving as members of Presidential Security Advance Teams. There are also other functions, such as capturing insurgent air transport missions from point A to point elsewhere, and though some may want to hear me say more about that.
No, I don't think I will.
7. Taskmaster. The Tactical Automated Security System, or TAS, is a base defense force multiplier involving everything from thermal imaging to lasers to seismic. It requires graduation from its own task school to earn the certification and task operator designation. And half TAS will travel because it is a constant present in war zones, and it became so successful that other branches, including the Marine Corps, now utilize this security forces tech. Variations of the system can also be found domestically in places we will not be discussing.
Nope.
8. Light infantry, whether you like it or not. Most people know that the largest career field in the Army and the Marines is that of infantry. That makes perfect sense considering their war design, and both are brilliant at executing their taskings. What is lesser known is that the largest career field in the Air Force is security forces because it is designated to serve as USAF's light infantry. Okay, here's the short story as to why that is. For years, inside the Air Force, the military police contingent and the security forces contingent were completely distinct career fields with their own individual job codes. You enlisted into one or the other, but the fields were combined in 1997, though I have it on great authority that neither side was very happy about it.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
You see, prior to 97, security forces' function and design was air-based defense. From extensive time living and training in the field to clicks-long ruck marches and PT, that was the life of security forces prior to the merger. And as a result of Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, the career field continues to hone its light infantry capabilities, working alongside other branches. However, today's security forces must graduate not only ground combat skills level 1 at minimum, but they must also graduate the Air Force's Law Enforcement Academy. In fact, for years, the Air Force's LE Center and Navy's Law Enforcement Training Center were housed in the same building on the same base. And today, especially in the Air National Guard and Air Reserves, you will absolutely find prior service Army and Marine infantry who have cross-trained into security forces, bringing with them an array of experience and training that further benefits this often misunderstood component of not only the Air Force, but of U.S. defense strategy and capability. And finally, number 9, the Khobar Towers effect. 30 years ago, on June 25, 1996, just ahead of the 4th of July, a military housing complex in Saudi Arabia called Khobar Towers was destroyed in a terrorist attack, killing 19 airmen and injuring nearly 500. The attack was reminiscent of the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, which occurred in October of '83. What isn't very well known about the Khobar Towers incident is that 3 security forces members were providing overwatch atop a compound in the towers complex when they witnessed a tanker truck come to a stop alongside a road that was in front of the building, and immediately the occupants jumped out of the cab and into an approaching vehicle. In addition to providing real-time intelligence to the command center, these guys ran through the building, yelling for everyone to get out, and are credited with saving numerous lives as the evac was underway when the truck detonated. Without the awareness and immediate action of those security forces members, that horrible event would have been made far, far worse. That, ladies and gentlemen, is just a glimpse inside of the real U.S. Air Force security forces. God bless America, Jesus loves you, and fintelWatch is over and out.